the 7 capital sins. Eden exists within every soul that is united with God. Expelling the light of God from within expels the soul from Eden and creates a great emptiness. To replace the void created by this disconnection with God, mankind created civilizations, ideas, and religions, seeking material wealth, power, and sexual satisfaction. Desire for sensation became the new god and only served to further degenerate mankind until man was left with only a trace of the divine inside. The secret knowledge contained in the story of Adam and Eve can be found hidden in mythological and religious stories from around the world. In story after story are found the enlightened or empowered heroes brought to ruin by their lust. In the Judeo-Christian tradition, long hair was the symbol of sexual purity or chastity. Thus, when Delilah cuts the hair of Samson, this is a symbol of lustful seduction. Samson lost his power when he could not control his sexual desire. In the epic Indian classic, the Mahabharata, the immortal Pandu is warned never to release the sexual energy. But when tempted by a beautiful woman, he proves incapable of controlling his lust, and he throws away his immortality and dies. By expelling the sexual energy, humanity lost their inner senses and were no longer able to perceive God directly. Thus, when humanity willingly expelled the subtle energies that supported a direct relationship with God, it was simultaneously cast out of Eden, the paradise of the 4th dimension. And mankind descended into the wilderness, the physical world, this 3rd dimension, the world of suffering.
He drove the man out and stationed east of the Garden of Eden the cherubim and the fiery ever-turning sword to guard the way to the tree of life.
Adam and Eve were cast out of Eden. However, the gateway back to Eden and the tree of life was neither closed nor locked. Instead, Jehovah Elohim sent a cherubim with a flaming sword to guard the entrance. The entrance to the Garden of Eden is the same door through which Adam and Eve departed. Humanity is not locked out of Eden, but a cherubim is left to grant entrance only to those whom have earned the right to return, and only those whom have conquered the tempting serpent have earned that right.
If you bring forth what is within you will save you. But if you do not bring forth what is within you will destroy you.
The serpent is within. The serpent is the sexual fire. It is a very powerful atomic energy with a polarity that can be used either to create or to destroy. Because this energy is so powerful, The individual requires great willpower in order to overcome the lure of this serpent. The temptation of this serpent is through material pleasure and self-edification. This tempting aspect of the serpent is Lucifer, or what in Hebrew is called Shaitan, the enemy. Because Shaitan is a fiery serpent that is ignited and empowered through the sexual act, it is always tempting mankind to know, to have the sexual connection. The serpent itself is power. The individual decides through their actions whether it will be a power of good or evil. It is the difference between obeying the serpent or controlling it. The lesson contained in the story of the serpent is that only those with the strength of will to control the cravings of their mind can raise the energetic serpent to transform themselves from intellectual animals into true human beings. It is necessary to conquer the dragon that lies within, as religions and mystical traditions have told for endless ages. The dragon is one's own lust, passion, anger, pride, fear, and envy. Thus exists the Hydra of many heads and the Medusa. The deceptions of the serpent are legion. The great heroes and gods always have the serpent under their power, and it is the serpent who protects them and conquers their enemies. In contrast to the serpent that tempted Eve, causing her to fall, there is the serpent of Moses, who commanded its power and conquered the Egyptians, accomplishing great miracles. The Egyptians had degenerated into black magic, and Moses appeared to deliver the true teachings. The Hebrew mem signifies water, shin is fire, and he is the womb. So the name Moshe, or Moses, means born of water and fire. The Aztec Christ, Quetzalcoatl, and the Tibetan Padmasambhava were also both born of the waters.
Unless a man be born again of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God.
Moses was born again, which means that he created the soul, symbolized by the illuminated tree of life, the burning bush, that he saw in the wilderness. The enlightened tree unified him with his inner father. Thus, he received the commands of God directly. Moses needed to free the people of Israel from Egypt. Egypt represents the degenerated mind of man, and the Pharaoh is the tyrant that jealousy rules over this man-made civilization of material power and desire. Israel is a compound word. Is from Isis, the Egyptian divine mother. Ra is the Egyptian divine father. And El is Hebrew for God. So when the nation of Israel is trapped in slavery, this is a symbol of one's own inner divinity trapped within the degenerated mind. Moses was told to take the rod, the spinal column, the tree of life in his own body, and it became a serpent. The serpent of the Kundalini. His serpent was more powerful than the negative serpent of the Egyptians. Thus, this story symbolizes the duality of the sexual force. Only the positive serpent, under the service of God, can free the soul from suffering. This is clearly represented in Egyptian art. The positive serpent protects, while the negative serpent must be dominated and conquered.